Look at them, parading around like peacocks. These scoundrels, rotten to their very core. See how they proudly display their vices and shameful privileges, tirelessly working to drag morality through the mud, trampling love itself.
The Queen is said to have read your liaison before her husband banned it. It's hilarious, isn't it?
I'm not surprised. No matter how hard I work to denounce their immoral practices, the aristocrats saw my novel as nothing more than a light-hearted bit of fluff. How naive I was to imagine that my pen could slice away the gangrene of their debauchery.
Well, fortunately, you have more than one string to your bow, mon capitaine.
Monsieur Marat.
Huh? Hey? Who goes there? La diable, je m'attendais. So this is the famous Huntress Diana I've heard so much about. Truly, 'tis an honor, madame. Now let me have a look at you. Oh, oui. You're just as they described. An angel of death, descended from the heavens to vanquish the clockwork tyrant.
Who depicted me this way, monsieur?
Mes compagnons, madame. Chief among them is Monsieur Chaudelot de la Clos. They have observed you dispensing justice all over the city. A most expeditious justice at that, as befits the crimes committed by our good king. What a strange machine you are. Gifted with intelligence, clearly, but also with speech and the freedom to do as you please. Cependant, you are still an automat. Who is your master?
It was on the Queen's orders that I came to Paris.
The poor thing. To what new level of desperation has her husband's madness driven her? Does she finally intend to leave this kingdom, where she should never have set her dainty little feet?
No, monsieur. She means to put an end to her husband's madness.
What, with you? You in what army? That's quite amusing, you must admit.
And you, Monsieur Marat? Who is your master?
I serve not a master, but a cause. That of the Duc d'Orléans. His cousin the king has no place on that throne, and nor does his wretched dynasty. The Bourbons, along with their wars, their crimes, and their vices, are finished. It's high time their scepter be passed to an enlightened, just monarch. One who is sympathetic to the people's sufferings. But now that I think about it, madame, look at us. We've been standing around chatting like old friends for several minutes, and I still don't know to what I owe the pleasure of your visit.
I must go to the Bastille, where Monsieur de Vaucanson is imprisoned.
Oui. Such a sad fate for a king's lackey. And what do you want with your creator? This man whose blood-stained hands built the army that's currently setting Paris ablaze.
What Vaucanson has done, only Vaucanson can undo.
Fair enough. Alas, while I come and go as I please through these tunnels, it is impossible to enter the fortress.
Impossible, dites-vous?
A sanguinary automat is spreading death and terror in the depths of this quarry. At the cost of their lives, my comrades were able to sabotage the floor of the cave to limit its movements. Nevertheless, it stands between you and the tunnel that leads to the Quartier du Temple. And that's the only way to reach the Bastille.
And yet that's exactly what I intend to do, Monsieur Marat.
À votre guise. I shall not attempt to dissuade you. There is one small thing, though. I had to disable the mobile walkways to protect myself from the automats. But since you managed to come here, I assume you already know a lot about these devices.
Indeed.
Here. This would allow you to reach the lower tunnels. Have you fixed the walkway?
I am working on it, Monsieur Marat.
That's the only way to reach the lower tunnels. The mechanism is on this level, near the walkway.
Who is Monsieur de Leclos?
A brilliant writer whose pen has shaken the old world, but is also an experienced military engineer who has sworn his sword to our common cause, to his great misfortune, it would appear. There is little doubt that he died leading his men through the tunnels.
Dites-moi, Monsieur Marat, what exactly are you doing hiding in a quarry?
I've made a lot of enemies. In my publications, I have always denounced the corrupt, and those who corrupt them. These vampires who cheat the weak and bleed the nation dry. Chief among them, that crook Lafayette, that Trenz Sabre. A career soldier who thinks he's Caesar, not content to maintain an army of rats. This Blondin has all the Châtelet's judges in his pocket. It seems my prose upset him, as he swore to hunt me down. If I hadn't fled, I'd have been done for, there's no doubt about that.
Who are your compagnons?
Patriots who come and go in the quarries throughout the city, under the command of Monsieur Leclos. Alas, there are few left. And I wager that it won't be long before the machines that have taken over our hiding place find me. My hours are numbered. Mais vous-même, have you found any companions for yourself?
I'm not certain, Monsieur.
It's as if all the patriots in the kingdom have already perished. I'm afraid we don't have a chance.
Monsieur Marat, did you take part in an operation that aimed to kidnap the Dauphin and his sister Charlotte?
Me take part in an operation? Nonsense. My only weapon is my pen, and I have sharpened it, believe you me. That said, we did receive some information concerning the children. Unfortunately, I'm sworn to secrecy. If such an operation did indeed take place, Monsieur de Leclos would have been the one behind it. Alas, I fear that he is no longer of this world. There is little doubt that he and his men fell in the galleries.
Who laid on this blood-stained mattress?
Oh, it's a strange story. I suppose you heard about what happened in Place Dauphine?
Indeed. I went there.
Well, we took in one of the survivors of the massacre. The only survivor, it seems. Despite his serious injuries, he was particularly talkative.
What did he tell you?
He kept saying that Lafayette was a traitor in the king's pay. That the flaxen-haired hero had deliberately handed his brand new National Guard over to the automatons.
What evidence did your guest have?
Nothing substantial, unfortunately. It was based on a simple rumor that was circulating in the camp shortly before the Royal Army attacked. It would appear that several volunteers carried a yellow cartridge in their cartridge pouches. Most likely a subtle way for the conspirators to recognize each other. The subsequent disaster would tend to confirm this hypothesis. Vous ne croyez pas?
These are suspicions. Nothing more.
Right you are. Oh, if only I had proof of this conspiracy. Then I'd be able to scutter the ambitions of that cur Lafayette for good. The would-be dictator's plans would be foiled.
I must get to the bottom of this urgently.
Very well. I encourage you to do so. But remember that the Marquis could not have acted alone. If you can't find anything implicating him, look into the members of his staff. Start in Place Dauphine, where those brigands sullied the ground with their boots.
Thanks to what I learned from Monsieur Marat, I will use the mobile walkway to reach the lower levels. That should have fixed the walkway.
Were you able to find proof of Lafayette's involvement in the National Guard debacle?
No. Nothing that convinced me.
One thing is certain. This Tartuffe would have taken infinite precautions. But I'm not sure the same could be said of his underlings. A band of brazen brutes who are hardly experienced in intrigues such as this. If I were you, I'd go back and investigate the area around Place Dauphine.
Monsieur Laclos, the Duc d'Orléans' faithful retainer. He was to prepare the way for his takeover, and now he has become one of the king's most bloodthirsty automats. How ironic.
Clo, you're alive.
Platoon. Ready. Fire! Fire at will! Oh, Senor. We can't stop them. They're upon us. Fixed bayonets. Fixed bayonets!
The fighting has stopped. It's over. Voyez? The Huntress Diana appeared to us. She's the one who saved you.
But the troops... Where are the troops?
You are the only survivor, Leclos.
No. No. We were so close. But those machines... An entire battalion would have been unable to defeat them. We were forced to retreat. Chased into these tunnels by the automats.
Who captured you, monsieur?
There was some confusion in the fray, but Cagliostro was in charge. He was the one who ordered me to be shut up in that coffin. Then I was thrown into that awful place where I lost consciousness. After that, everything is a series of blurred visions with a voice that ordered me to kill again and again.
Tell me about this machine that guards the Bastille.
We were prepared to face an enemy, not an executioner. That thing, half butcher's block, half stocks, was designed to make heads roll.
Why did you launch this attack?
3 of our companions were held captive in the fortress. Our best agents.
Agents?
Spies, if you prefer. We, the supporters of the Duc d'Orléans, have always worked in the shadows, within the Queen's entourage, in the tribunes of the Estates General, among the patriots in the clubs, amidst the rank and file in the army.
We have had some success, you have to admit.
What machinations have you discovered?
Enough to make Monsieur Marat's ink flow and bring down our rivals. Necker's speculations, Lafayette's dishonorable behavior, Mirabeau's corruption, and many darker secrets.
Such as Lafayette's plot to rescue the Dauphin and his sister Charlotte.
How on earth do you know that?
She seems as well informed as we are. Once again, the king has won.
That won't always be the case. But right now I have something urgent I must do. It was madness to attempt an attack on the Bastille.
You're wrong. I'm a military man. It was a bold maneuver, but it was a calculated risk. After all, that old fortress is a pile of stones with no buffers, curtain walls, or bastions. As for its garrison, our agents were certain. Only a handful of veterans should have been there. A single charge should have sufficed to disperse them. But the king made other arrangements. He increased the fortress's defenses and placed a swarm of automats at the service of a terrible machine.
Tell me about this machine that guards the Bastille.
We were prepared to face an enemy, not an executioner. That thing, half butcher's block, half stocks, was designed to make heads roll.
I intend to enter the Bastille and free Monsieur de Vaucanson.
For what possible reason, mon Dieu?
She claims that he's the only one who can stop the machines.
Indeed, it's possible. In that case, if you're ready to face the abomination that blocked my path and slaughtered my lieutenants, Then don't waste a second. Let's not stay here much longer, Marat. Let's head back to our burrow. There's still some wine left in this pub.
More than enough, Leclos. More than enough.
Wonderful. We'll drink to our broken dreams until this finally comes to an end.
Here you are at last. This is where the path to the Bastille begins. And to think, I would have never thought you'd make it this far. Cependant, I would advise you not to rush. The fighting in these tunnels has weakened the structure. If you go in there, I'm afraid you won't be able to turn back. Delors, I have just one bit of advice to give you. Before going any further, make sure you're not leaving behind any unfinished business. Any commitments that you've not fully met. I shall return to my hiding place. In these unsure times, you can never be too careful. Ne croyez-vous pas?
Monsieur Laclos.
Can I help you, madame?
The representatives of the people are asking for your help, monsieur.
Who exactly are you talking about?
The patriots and representatives of the Third Estate who escaped the massacre.
I need names, madame.
Monsieur de Robespierre, Monsieur Lavoisier, the Marquis de Lafayette.
All these men have declared themselves enemies of the cause to which we have sworn allegiance to.
Is there any cause more important than saving the nation?
No, of course not. And what do these so-called defenders of the people want from me?
They believe they have found a way to neutralize the royal automats for good. And to do it, they beg you to give them one of the explosive cannonballs you invented.
Ma foi, if there is a way to stop these death machines, then I have a duty to assist them. But you must understand that I shall remain on my guard. When doing deals with the enemy, you must take precautions for when the game ends.
If that's how you feel, then by all means take steps to ensure your safety.
Let me think. Where are the representatives?
At the Couvent des Cordeliers.
Very well. Here's what we're going to do. I will go to the convent immediately and try to negotiate a truce. As for you, here is the key to a trunk in the next room. It contains a prototype of my cannonball, as well as the patents and pages that explain how to manufacture it. Bring all of this to me at the convent. However, do not give me anything unless I specifically request it. Is that clear?
Perfectly clear, monsieur. I will follow your instructions.
Alors, have you found any proof of our friend Lafayette's duplicity?
No, nothing convincing.
That's strange. I'm sure that the men who were stationed in Place Dauphine could not have carried out his plan without leaving some evidence behind.
Who are your compagnons?
Patriots who come and go in the quarries throughout the city, under the command of Monsieur Laclos. Alas, there are few left. And I wager that it won't be long before the machines that have taken over our hiding place find me. My hours are numbered. Mais vous-même, have you found any companions for yourself?
Members and supporters of the Third Estate have gathered at the Cordelier convent.
Would you be so kind as to name them?
In addition to Monsieur de Robespierre, the Comte de Mirabeau is there.
Le Flambeau de Provence. An artful chameleon who skillfully dons every color of the rainbow.
The Marquis de Lafayette, Monseigneur de...
Say no more. They're just the privileged class celebrating the marriage of cowardice and treason. With adversaries like them, the king is sure to triumph.
Madame, these gentlemen and I have come to an agreement.
That is good news.
We will resolve our differences when the time comes. The matter is settled.
You can count on it, Laclos. But now it is clear that we are fighting the same adversary.
Adversary? You are rather indulgent, Monsieur le Marquis. It seems that you are still fond of him, despite his heinous crimes.
Oh, de grâce.
Truly, the king is no more than a wild beast. And together, in large numbers, we will hunt him down.
Madame, please give the model and the engineering notes to Monsieur de Robespierre. However, you shall hold on to the patents. No one knows what the future may hold.
Let there be peace between you, gentlemen, for there is still much work to be done. We believe we now have a way to destroy the lanterns. Without them, the machines will no longer be able to carry out their sinister task. But it is still just a strategy, which needs to be tested. And even a conclusive experiment will not guarantee our success. Where will we find a working cannon? How will we get more vitriol? How will we make more cannonballs? Please, I ask each of you to set to work without delay. Pour la nation, messieurs.
Pour la nation.
Pour la nation!
Pour la nation.
Monsieur Lavoisier,
What can I do for you, Aegis?
the clues I found at the warehouse suggest that the gunpowder was moved to the Bastille.
Diable! You must find a...
Goodbye, Monsieur Lavoisier. Monsieur Bailly. Goodbye, Monsieur Bailly. Monsieur le Marquis.
I'm listening, Aegis.
I spoke with Monsieur Marat and Monsieur Laclos.
Ah, the scoundrels. Did you force them to confess? Do you know what they did with the children?
They admitted to organizing the ambush at Gros Caillou.
Cursed recreants. Cowardly corrupters of innocence. Where are they holding their prisoners? They must be rescued immediately.
They do not have Charlotte and the Dauphin.
Excuse me? They dare to claim that?
It is the truth. The ambush was a catastrophe. The king had gotten wind of your plans. Automats from Versailles slaughtered the kidnappers and seized the children. By now, the children will have been reunited with their father. There is little doubt about that.
Mon Dieu. Then it is from the clutches of that tyrant in his own palace that they must be saved. I fear that such an undertaking is doomed to failure, although there is no question of giving up.
General, there is an alarming rumor about you going around.
Huh. Just one, is there?
You are accused of having delivered the troops who had gathered in the Place Dauphine over to the king.
Calumny. This is nothing less than vile slander. I am the staunchest opponent of the bloodthirsty tyrant who claims to rule us. What's more, I did not call for the uprising. The National Guard came together on their own. This was the work of soldiers who rebelled and called on the people to rise up and defend Paris. It was only after they had gathered that the troops asked me to lead them. Alas, I was too late. But tell me, where did you hear this rumor?
I cannot tell you that, General.
No matter. It's of no importance. I know my enemies, and they are wasting no time. The day will come when I shall make them pay.
Goodbye, Monsieur le Marquis.
Have you found Monsieur Marat?
Yes, you were right. He is hiding in the quarries of Montmartre.
Did he show you the way to the Bastille?
No, but he told me about the tunnels that will take me to the Temple. From there, I can fight my way to the Bastille.
The man is trustworthy, as long as he does not count you among his enemies. You should leave us, and take up his advice immediately.
Goodbye, Monsieur de Robespierre.
So there you have it, another episode of SteelRising. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more episodes. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.